All right, what's up everybody? So today in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys a piece of equipment that's pretty hard to pass up on considering how much it costs and the improvements that it can make to your audio setup. So I'm going to be showing you guys what I've been using, the results I've been getting, and kind of do some test demos with it so you guys can hear it for yourself. So stick around guys, let's get started. So the piece of equipment that we're going to be using is this one right here. You probably have seen it before. It's just a little tube preamp that you can buy. They're pretty affordable. I think I got mine for maybe $30 on eBay. That's usually about what they cost. It's anywhere from 20 to 30 bucks. And the beauty of it is that you can change out the little tube that's inside of it on this side, which is what I ended up doing. I bought a different tube from, I can't remember what website it was, but I'll definitely end up linking it in the description. So if you guys like the quality I'm getting, that you guys can go buy it for yourself and then end up trying it in your setup. So yeah, keep in mind the product itself, the actual preamp is about maybe $20 to $30. That's at least what I got mine for. And I know I saw a couple of them going for about that price. Super affordable piece of equipment because pretty sure brand new, they're only like 60 or 70 bucks. So buyers used is what I would say. Just read the description, make sure there's nothing wrong with it. And then of course, change out the tube that's inside of it because the tubes that they give you in this are pretty bad. I tried it out myself and it had this like hiss and just wasn't really quality. So I ended up switching out my tube in it. And for one, it just improved the overall quality of the audio, but it also helped with like making the sound a little bit more warmer and have a cool characteristic to it. So this is what we're going to be using. I'm going to show you guys just what I'm putting my settings at, when I change them, and then you guys can do it for yourself. Hopefully if you guys end up liking one, you can pick one up and hopefully it'll increase your guys' audio quality as well. So yeah, so right now, currently what you're hearing is microphone going directly into my audio interface, and I'm recording a dry signal, but what I wanted to do as well, on top of just showing you guys what this sounds like in a dry signal, I'm gonna also put some plugins on these so that you guys can get an idea of how that sounds when it's processed and everything too. So right now, you're just hearing the microphone going directly into the interface, and this is the signal that I'm getting. I'm recording at about -12 decibels, and I might end up boosting later on in post, but I will let you guys know that towards the end of the video or in the description. So make sure you check that. Okay, and now what you're hearing is my vocals with a couple plugins on it. I'm using a compressor and a little bit of EQing, and that's going from microphone into the audio interface, nothing else in between. And this is the quality that I'm getting from this. It sounds pretty good already. Some of you could even argue that you don't need one of these, which is true. You don't need to have one, but it does help with providing a little bit of characteristic and tone to it. So if you're getting kind of tired with the sound that you're getting right now with your setup, it would not hurt to try out one of these. I just got it to experiment with tube preamps because I haven't really done too much with them. I used to have a older piece of equipment back when I was maybe like 16 or 17, but I didn't really know how to use it all that well. So I'm starting out with just something a little bit smaller, getting used to it. And then maybe in the future, I will upgrade to a bigger tube preamp that I can, implement into my recordings. But anyways, guys, yeah, so this is just microphone to the audio interface with some plugins. Let's go ahead and put this in between. Real quick, I'm going to talk about how I'm setting this up. So if you're having any confusion, this should hopefully clear it up for you guys. So yeah. So what I'm gonna end up doing is running my microphone into the input. It's just an XLR input on the preamp. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run a, It's a female XLR cable that also, so it's female XLR to 1/4 inch TRS. So that's what I'm going to be running. Again, check the description because I'm going to put everything in there so you can see all the parts for yourself. Just look for that one in the description and you'll see what it looks like. So if you wanted to go and pick one up in person, for example, or if you just want to buy the one that I'm currently using with my setup, it'll be in the description for you guys. It'll be easy to pick up. So that's how I'm going to be running this. And then also the TRS is going to go into the line input on my audio interface. And then we're not going to rely on any gain on the audio interface. So we're going to turn the gain all the way down to the lowest it can go. And then we're going to turn off the phantom power because this supplies phantom power to your microphone. So we'll turn on the 48 volt switch, and then we have phantom power powering up our microphone. And then we're going to actually control our gain and output through the knobs on the two preamps. So that's how we're going to be doing it, guys. If you're confused at all about this, just let me know in the description, or I mean in the comment section, and then I will help you out. Maybe I can further elaborate, but it's pretty straightforward. It's pretty easy going. So anyways, let's go ahead and set this up now, and I'll talk about what I'm doing with the knobs, and then you guys get an idea of what the signal sounds like, and I'll put some plugins on it to finalize it, and you guys could see the end result. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, and now you're hearing my microphone plugged into my preamp, which is then running the output into my audio interface. And again, like I said, I turned down the gain on the audio interface completely, so there's no gain being provided by the audio interface. That's key. You don't want to be providing any gain from your audio interface. All your gain should be coming from the preamp. And then also no phantom power on the audio interface. Phantom power is being supplied through the preamp. So what I did was I turned my output all the way up on the preamp, so my output is maxed, and then I'm just relying on my input gain on the preamp to give us what you're hearing right now. So I'm mostly relying on input gain, although the output is maxed out on here as well. So this is what you're hearing. It sounds pretty good. It's nice and clean. There's definitely a little bit of a change in it. You might prefer the sound of this, but some of you may prefer the sound of plugging directly into the interface. So it's all up to you. It's all taste at the end of the day. It's all subjective. So now what I'm going to do is put on some plugins on this next clip, and then you're going to be able to hear how it sounds when it's processed. So let's go ahead and play the next clip. Okay, and now what you're hearing is the microphone attached to the preamp, and I'm running some plugins on it. This is just to show you what it sounds like when it's processed. It sounds pretty good. And again, you know, it's all subjective, so you may not prefer the sound of this, and you might actually end up preferring the sound of running the microphone directly into the audio interface. So other than that, it's pretty basic what I'm doing. I'm just adding a little bit of compression and a little bit of EQing. I don't do a whole lot when it comes to editing, like voiceover, just talking videos. I don't do a whole lot with that. Simple is better than going, you know, overboard. So that's what I'm doing. That is how I'm getting the quality that I'm getting. And again, I'm recording at about -12 decibels, and then I will probably boost it after doing my compression just a little bit to make up for what I compress. So yeah, guys, that is how it sounds. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to turn the input all the way up, and then use the output knob to make up for that, and then adjust it so that my levels are right at about -12. That's where I want to be. So you're gonna notice that the quality is gonna change a little bit, and it's gonna give you kind of a more almost warmer and more drastic sound to the vocals. So really pay attention to that. I'm gonna play this next clip here in a second, and just pay attention to the difference from this to the next clip. So let's go ahead and switch our settings around just a little bit, and I will get back to you. So let's do it. All right, and then this is how it sounds when you turn your input all the way up on the preamp, and then you just use the output knob to make up for it and get your levels to wherever they need to be. So for this instance, I got my levels to be about -12, and like I said, after I add compression and EQing, I'll probably boost it a little bit in post. So this is just how it sounds with no EQs, no processing, just the raw signal. You can probably notice just a little difference from this in the previous clips. Like I said, it kind of sounds a little more harsh, a little more warmer. So it could be a stylistic choice why you might do that. But again, this is just how it sounds. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to adding some plugins to this, and you can see for yourself how it sounds when it's processed. So let's go ahead and move on to that. And finally, this is how it sounds when it's processed. Again, just a compressor and a little bit of EQing, and that is how I'm getting the sound that you are currently hearing right now. And I'm keeping my levels at about -12. So if you guys like the way that this sounds, in the description box, I'm going to leave everything that I used in this video. That's including the microphone and the audio interface that I'm using. I'll be sure to link onto probably onto eBay where you can find these used, because I would suggest that you buy this preamp used if you are going to get one. You'll be able to get it for like 20 to 30 bucks, so dirt cheap, and it can be a really good addition to your studio. And then of course also what I would do is switch out the cheap tube that they give you with it. It's like a cheap little Chinese tube that they'll ship with it. I would suggest that you end up buying a more professional sounding tube. The one that I bought cost like 25 bucks for it maybe, and it's awesome. I love the way it sounds. It's super quiet, no hiss to the recording at all, and it sounds pretty warm, pretty good in my opinion. I love the way it sounds, so I typically use the preamp whenever I'm recording. But I'm going to leave all that linked in the description. And of course, if you have any questions, in regards to this kind of stuff, go ahead and leave it in the comment section, and I will be able to get back to you and possibly help you out. So, yeah, guys, that's been the video. Everything that I've used will be linked below. Any questions, anything, leave it in the comment section. Other than that, I think that's everything. Also, real quick before I, get out of here, if you haven't watched the video yet on this microphone, I suggest that you do, because this thing is amazing. And I'm telling you right now, this company that made this mic is going to blow up in the future. So last video I uploaded, the $169 mic video. Go back and watch that. It's pretty awesome if you haven't. And yeah, guys, check them out. That's an awesome new company that is creating great affordable products. So I'm going to leave it at that. And I think that's it, guys. You got an idea of how it sounds. So anyways, it's been fun. I will catch up with you guys in the next video. So yeah, take care, everybody.